أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا ومن يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah An-Nisa, ayah 75, وَمَا لَكُمْ لَا تُقَاتِلُونَ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. What is wrong with you that you don't fight in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Before I move forward, just want to bring something into the attention that one of the very important things of the etiquettes of the Jummah is that while we are in the khutbah, that we do not play with anything, whether on the carpet or whether on the cell phone or things like that. And even if somebody is talking, we're not supposed to stop that person. If we do that, that will violate our Jummah. So I see some brothers that I request them, inshallah, to turn off their cell phones and things like that. That what is wrong with you that you do not fight in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَالْمُسْتَعْدَفِينَ مِنَ الرِّجَالِ وَالنِّسَاءِ وَالْوِلْدَانِ الَّذِينَ. For the oppressed, for the weak, for the people who have no power, for the people who do not find the way. What kind of people? The men, the women, and the children. يَقُولُونَ. They are saying, what are they saying? رَبَّنَا أَخْرِجْنَا مِنْ هَذِهِ الْقَرْيَةِ الظَّالِمِ أَهْلُهَا وَاجْعَلْ لَنَا مِنْ لَدُنْكَ وَلِيًّا وَاجْعَلْ لَنَا مِنْ لَدُنْكَ نَصِيرًا. That, oh Allah, take us out of this storm. Take us out of this city. Take us out of this land. Because the people of this land, people of this city, people of this town, they are very zalim. They are very cruel. They are very hard. And oh Allah, send us, وَجَعَلْ لَنَا مِنْ لَدُنْكَ وَلِيًّا. Send us a protector from you. Send us a helper from you. When one reads this ayah in the context of today, what is going on in Palestine, it seems like this is the cry of those people, that they don't find no helper. They don't find no way. And it's been years and years and years and years like that. And now it has been over a year. About 50,000 of them. And 70% of those 50,000 are women and children. They have taken the Shahada. The bombs are continuously falling upon them. They do not have no water. They do not have no food. They do not have roof over their head. And they do not have beds to sleep upon. How can we sleep at night knowing that our brothers and sisters are going through like that? And then they tell them to move into that area, that's the safe area for you. And when they all gather together over there, they bomb them over there. And then they tell them move into that neighborhood. That is the safe haven for you. And when they go over there, they bomb them over there. It seems like they are trying to save the money on the bombs. They want to kill more people with one bomb. You know, وَمَكَرُوا وَمَكَرَ اللَّهُ وَاللَّهُ خَيْرُ الْمَاكِرِينَ. They have their plans, and Allah has His plan. Indeed, Allah is the best planner. Our deen teaches us, and this should be our policy also, that we should speak the truth. We should always say the haqq. We should speak the truth even if it's against ourselves. That's the teachings of our deen. That's the bedrock of our deen. We may not practice it, but that's how we should be. And the truth is, and the haqq is, that Israel would have not been the way that it is today, as the mighty Israel it is, as the greater Israel that they have created. It would have not happened if it was not with the help of our so-called Muslim kings, our so-called Muslim prime ministers, our so-called Muslim presidents, and our so-called Muslim scholars. They conspired with them. They made it happen. That is the haqq. That is the truth. We may not like it. We may not talk about it. But that's how it is. So who is going to fix it? How this will be resolved? Of course, the superpower of the worlds are not going to come to aid them, because it is happening with their permission. It is happening with their manpower. It is happening with their weaponry. And those so-called Muslim kings and rulers, of course, they are not going to come for it either. They are all silent. They have no permission to speak. But it will happen. It will be stopped. It will be resolved. It will be done by individual Muslims like you. Why is it my responsibility? Or how can I stop? I'm just one person. Or how did it become my responsibility? I even never been to Palestine. As some people came to Sayyidina Ali radiallahu anhu when he was the Khalifa. And look at these people, how disrespectful these people were. How they came to mock Sayyidina Ali. How they came to make fun of him. They came to him and they said, when it was the time of Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu, that Islam was flourishing, new lads were entering into the fold of Islam. People were taking the Shahada in large numbers. Like we just saw, one brother took the Shahada. But people were taking in the great numbers together. Groups and groups were taking the Shahada. And now you are Khalifa. And we have nothing but fitna. And what a beautiful, that wise man answered them. Sayyidina Ali replied them that when Umar was Khalifa, radiallahu anhu, he was surrounded by people like me. People like who? Sayyidina Ali. And he said, now that I am Khalifa, I am surrounded by people like you. Today, Palestine is surrounded by people like you and me. That's why it is our responsibility. Why is it our responsibility? Because Rasulullah said, and this hadith is narrated by Sayyidina Nu'man bin Bashiri. He reported that Rasulullah said that Muslims are like one body of a person. That if eye is sore, the whole body aches. And if the head aches, the whole body aches. We feel the pain on our heart. We cry for our brothers and sisters in Palestine. We want to do something for them. Why? Because we are part of that one body. When we say Ashhadu an la ilaha illallahu wahdahu la sharika lah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh, we become part of that one body which is called Ummah. We cry. We feel the pain of our brothers and sisters who still cannot go back to their homes in Burma. Not only they were kicked out of their homes, not only their women and daughters were raped, but the men were burned alive in Burma. They still are not allowed to go back to their home. We cry, we felt the pain of our brothers and sisters in Syria who are still being prosecuted and tortured. Muslims were buried alive in Syria. Muslims were burned alive in Burma, they were buried alive in Syria. Muslim blood has become cheap. Today, water has more value than the blood of Muslim. So, what can one person do? What can one individual Muslim do over here which will have the result over there? How is that possible? Because we are part of that one body. When we take care of our body gets stronger. We eat good nutrition food, we feel strong. But if deliberately I eat rotten food, I will get sick. Deliberately I put my finger in the fire, my whole body will feel the pain. So when I commit fornication over here, a sister gets raped in Burma. Not exactly like that, but that's the example I want to use. So when I buy a house on riba here, somebody loses his house in Syria or in a flood or in earthquake. Not exactly like that. In the dunya, it doesn't look like that. But if you look at this hadith, the other side of the hadith is that if I don't take care of my body, I am going to get sick. The result will be bad. If I eat bad food, my body will feel bad. So what can we do to make this ummah, to make this body stronger? There are 5 recommendations, there are 5 obligations. These are not recommendations of anybody. These are the obligations from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon each one of us. We may have forgotten it, but these are something which are very important, and inshallah we need to come back to them. Number 1, we need to get out of the riba. We need to get out of the mortgages which is based on the riba. We need to get out of the car loans which are based on the riba. We need to get out of the business loans which are based on riba. One say, how is this possible? Today, everything is based on the riba. We need to do what we can do. We need to do what is in our hand, what is in our power that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us. If I decide today that I am going to get out of the mortgage which is based on the riba, and I start to look for ways and means, it will not be possible. It will not happen. But at the same time, if I seek the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah will send help from the gap, and we will not even know, and we'll be out of it. It might take a year, it might take 6 months, it might take 2, 3, 4 years, but it is possible. If we start working on it, it will happen. It will happen. Maybe some people early, for some people it might be late. Number 2, we need to stop selling alcohol and CBD and businesses like that. We want our children to be huffaz. We want our children to be the scholars of Islam, but we are raising them on the income that is coming from the alcohol. As they call it, we live in the land of the opportunity. And yet when a Muslim decides to go into business, he cannot find any other business but gas station. And when he buys a gas station, he cannot run it without alcohol. But it is possible. Indeed, it will be hard. It will not be easy. But if one decides to get out of this business today, he starts working on the ways and means he knows, and then keep seeking the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala every day. Because indeed, nothing is possible without the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Keep reaching out to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala every day. Keep making the dua. Keep making the stuff. And look for the ways and means. And with the help from the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we will be out of that also. Third recommendation. We need to stop going fornication. We need to stop going towards the fornication. Committing fornication is a big sin. We even need to stop going towards it. We need to stop looking at it. We need to stop hearing about it. We need to stop thinking about it. We need to make it easy for our children, for our youth to get married. Being a young in this society, it is very hard. There's a lot of pull and attraction in the evil. We need to make it easy for our daughters and for our sons to get married. While they're going to school, if they want to get married, and we should guide them and we should help them and give them the targheeb to get married. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has provided us a risk to take care of 3, 4, 5 children, if the sixth one come, Allah will send the risk for that child also. What will be best? Their husband and wife, they both are going to school together, and you're helping them raise their children. People make the du'as that they have the opportunity to play with their grandkids, and you have the grandkids in your home. You're raising them and you're playing with them. That's your bonus. Number 4, that we need to watch what we eat and what we wear. A lot of time we are very conscious and we are very careful about what we eat, but we forget what we are wearing. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have His rahmah and mercy upon the brother who might be praying behind us, that sometime when we go into the sajda, we are completely naked and we are not even aware of that. We don't even think about it. The fabric the clothes are made of today, it is 10 times thinner than the paper. The paper is thicker than the fabric that they are using. Nowadays, we are wearing the clothes, but yet we are 100% naked. There's even no room for the imagination. We used to complain that our sisters wear clothes which are very tight, but now men are wearing clothes which are tighter than the sisters also. We see sometimes people who have like earrings and nose pins and pins here and there, and they have the hair color which is pink and purple and all that. But when you look at their clothing, they are wearing clothes which are baggy. I look at those people, I say, they are wearing the clothes that I should be wearing. So there's no complaint that you cannot find those clothes. They are available in the market. We just need to go and find them and buy them. And we can wear them at the work also, and nobody will stop you. And the 5th obligation and the 5th recommendation is bring the Quran al-Kareem into your life. Get to know the Quran al-Kareem. If we do not know how to read the Quran, it is still too late. Even if we are 60-year-old, we need to make some time, sit down with them and learn the Quran from the alphabet. Make 10 minutes every day. Cannot find a teacher, cannot make the time to come to the masjid, find a teacher online. Even if you make 10 minutes once a week, you do that. It is still not too late. It will be too late when we are dead. What is a best death than the dying? It will be too late. If we are successful, that is the best death that we can have. But if you already know how to read the Quran with the correct pronunciation, mashallah, that's wonderful. Now it's time to understand the Quran. Read the Quran with the tafsir. Learn the language of the Quran. Read the Quran with the translation. You already understand the Quran? No, that the best. Look at the best. Look at my best person on the earth.